This episode is sponsored by the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Hollywood Casino and ESPN Bet want to help you get ready for football season. Download the ESPN Bet app today and explore an action-packed online sportsbook. Then stop in the casino to catch the action in person with a tailgate party on September 8th. Visit HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com to see how you can reserve your package. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. This summer, Nikiya Mathis became the first artist to win a special Tony Award for hair and wig design for the Broadway play Zsa Zsa's African Hair Braiding, which opens today at Arena Stage in Washington, D.C. She joined me to discuss her pioneering work in this groundbreaking stage comedy.
I'm Nikiya Mathis, and I'm the hair and wig designer for Zsa Zsa's African Hair Braiding.
Yes, Zsa Zsa's African Hair Braiding is going to be coming to the illustrious historic Arena Stage in D.C. down near the wharf. It's going to kick off this Friday, September 6th, and run through October 13th. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Listen, I'm so happy to talk to you. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Well, I would love to go in a minute, your specific work, your craft of the hair and everything. But before we even do that, let's pretend maybe some people miss the Tonys. They don't know what it's about. Like, what's the basic premise of the show?
Oh, well, listen, the Tony Awards go to theater makers, theater designers, directors, actors, and craftspeople who make great work on Broadway. So I was blessed this year to win actually a historic Tony Award, because there actually is no category for hair and wig makers. So I am actually the first person ever to win a Tony Award for my wig design of Zsa Zsa's African Hair Braiding.
That is so cool. And by the way, I meant what's the premise of the show, the play. Not the premise of the Tony. But no, but either way, no, that's great. We can start there. So yeah, I mean, this is a historic win. So what's it like you're sitting in the audience? I mean, I guess the show itself was nominated for 5 total, I think, or 6.
Yes.
But yeah, what was it like sitting there and being the one that gets to hear your name called and get to rep the show by going up on stage? Like that's a once in a life. Well, hopefully not once in a lifetime, but it's a lifetime experience.
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, it's my first. Well, maybe I've been to the Tonys once before, just like, just in the audience, but like to actually be the recipient of a Tony was amazing. So because this was a historic Tony and it was a special Tony, they actually announced it before the Tony Awards. So I was fortunate enough to actually know that I was going to the Tony Awards, and I could tell my mom, I'm winning already. You don't have to like cross your fingers. Like I already know that I'm getting this award. So that was freaking amazing. But also the other nominations that the play had, I was still like nervous, just because it just felt like the play was my own. So I was nervous to hear like what other categories we might win in. And of course, Didi Aite, who is our costume designer, won for best costume. So that was amazing.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'll list all the ones it was nominated for best play, like the overall best play. It was nominated for scenic design for David Quinn. As you mentioned, Didi won for best costume design. You win for the hair and the wigs and everything. What else was nominated for best sound design? Justin Ellington.
Yes. Stefania. Yep, absolutely.
Stefania Barbarella. And best direction, Whitney White.
Absolutely. Just incredible. And I feel like all of those people should have won. Like we could have totally swept across the board, because there were some amazing people and amazing collaborators who were on this project. I feel like Jocelyn wrote such an amazing show. Whitney really created an atmosphere that we all thrived in, but also just even in terms of the magic that happens in stage, I feel like we worked really closely in tandem to really make the magic of the wigs work. And she was an awesome collaborator.
Damn, that stereophonic.
I
Right?
know.
Come on now. No,
Exactly.
just kidding. But not really. We're pretty good. But hey, before we move off the Tonys, did you get to meet the host, Ariana DeBose? Did you get to meet her at all?
Oh my gosh, I totally did not. I feel like, we were on the red carpet together and she was, of course, talking to one press person while I was talking to another. So our paths like crossed, but we were never able to like touch. But like just seeing, her, Alicia Keys, so many amazing people on the red carpet. It was a dream come true, like to also be up there with these notable people who've like just shown excellence in their art. It was amazing.
Absolutely. All right. Well, so that's the Tonys. Thanks that I got tons of good sound bites out of that. But how about if folks show up to Arena Stage, tell them the basic sort of premise, like I hate to say plot summary, but you know what I mean, like to tease what the show's about.
Okay, sure. So Jaja's African hair braiding. It starts it's really like a play that's almost a day in the life. Like so you really see a day in the life of these hair braiders, which is exciting because like no play like this has ever been written. The life of a hair braider, especially for Black women or any woman who has gone to a hair salon and knows what it is to have so many different personalities, to have the person that you love, but then you might see so one hair braider or one stylist, you might go to one, but you see that you like the work of another. And now you're trying to figure out how you can cheat on your stylist with the other stylist. We'll have that. We'll have, a little drama amongst the hair braiders. You'll see like the magic of Black women going from their natural hair to, let's say, micro braids, cornrows, and like how the heck does that happen? Like that's really the magic of the show. It's the magic of the character work, the magic of the comedy, but also the magic of how do we actually transform hair into completely different styles without leaving the stage? Like it really is a magical show.
It sounds like it. And who are the
Yeah.
characters? Like, tell us who Marie and B and all. Who are they? What are
Oh,
they factor?
sure. So, okay, so Jaja is the shop owner, and Jaja is fabulous. It's actually Jaja's wedding day. When we enter the shop, Marie is Jaja's daughter, who is a first generation, um, born here, and she is helping her mother to run the shop. She's in college. She has dreams of her own, juxtaposed to her mother's dreams for her, of course. Then we have Sister B, who has been with Jaja the longest, so she feels like she is entitled to have her own shop and all of those things. So there is a little bit of like competition among her and Jaja and her and the other braiders. Then we have Miriam, who is just a sweet woman, and we get to learn actually what the history of her backstory is. Juxtaposed to what you see or who you think that she is when you see her at first glance. You have Ndidi, who is the fashion plate. She's Nigerian. She was a Nollywood star, back home, and now she's in America. All of the clients come in and love her. She's the one who they look at her hair and like, I want that braider, I want that hairstyle. So of course, then there's a little competition between her and the other braiders because of that. So like we have like a colorful mix of characters and personalities that will really make you fall in love with them.
I love it. And it is a comedy, right, folks? So,
It's a comedy,
you're
absolutely.
gonna explain why they're gonna laugh their butt off.
Exactly. Because, well, first of all, when you rub one personality that is completely opposite of another personality against each other, that is just space for comedy, especially when people do not hold back their opinions when they should. We also have like character work being done. There are people playing various characters, so that's always fun and trying to, navigate accents and character transformations. So it's gonna be, and there's just like a lot of jokes and a lot of laughter in the play. So it'll be a good time.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of the space that they're all, rubbing elbows with each other, describe the visual space, the salon, or, what do we see visually? How's it created on stage with the
Oh
Tony nominated
yeah.
design?
Well, so the interesting thing is that on Broadway, we had a slightly larger space, so we were able to do like a full rotation of the stage that got an applause every time because you would not because you didn't expect the reveal that happened. Now we've had to, I wish David Zinn was also on the phone because he and Whitney had to reimagine it in the spaces that this tour is going in and still keep the integrity of the design, but also figure out how to do reveals that supported the initial design. So what you're going to see is the Jaja's African hair braiding salon. You're going to see images of women, images of hairstyles that uh, the people in the salon, the customers choose from. You're going to see like the tools. It's going to be colorful. And I think that people who get their hair styled, whether you've been to an African braiding salon or not, if you haven't been to one, it's going to be interesting to see, but it's still going to feel a little bit like home. And for those who have been to an African braiding salon, it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what that is. That it's going to feel just so authentic.
You'll laugh because you'll be like, that is so on point. That is my
Absolutely.
experience.
Yes, and then what we experienced from Broadway is that the people who had not um been to a salon, or some of the men, they were really intrigued by it. It doesn't feel foreign, or it doesn't feel like something that you can't touch or be embraced by. You still fall in love with the story and are intrigued by all of it.
Exactly. It's universal. But also, come on, I mean, even if it's not our experience, learn the culture. Get in that salon. Let's go, men. Come on.
100%. Absolutely. Come on, men.
Let's
No,
do
just play.
That's awesome. And it is a play. There's no musical number. There's no like, Spike Lee good and bad hair, right?
Not at all. No, it is a straight play. And no, it's a straight play, it's a comedy. But to be honest, having designed musicals and plays, it moves like a musical because a lot of quick changes, which occur in musicals, characters, people changing characters. So it acts almost like it is a musical.
Gotcha. It's that upbeat, vibrant, magical vibe of a music.
Yes, 100%.
Listen,
100%.
love it. Let's hear more about you. Where did you actually grow up?
Yeah, well, I was born in Atlanta, but I was raised in Jersey.
Okay.
I went to Temple University undergrad, and then I went to NYU Tisch School of the Arts grad acting. So I think the funny thing about me is I started out as an actor. I graduated from NYU, and then I started pursuing acting, like theater, TV, and film. And I actually worked at Arena Stage for the first time as an actor several years ago, doing a play by Katori Hall called Blood Quilt. So now to actually be back as a designer is pretty crazy and exciting. So yeah, I still act. I'm recurring on a TV show called Power Book 3 Raising Canaan. And I am also a Broadway designer. So like my schedule is insane.
Yeah.
But it's also exciting.
Where can we watch the TV show? What's it streaming on?
Oh, it's on the Stars Network.
Okay, great, awesome.
Yes.
Who are your idols or contemporaries that you think are doing some of the best work out there, either Broadway or Hollywood, in terms of hairstyle?
Yeah, no, that's really good.
We had Camille Friend on last the one that did Wakanda Forever, right before she.
Yes. Well, Camille was definitely going to be on my list. What I appreciate about Camille is not only is she an amazing stylist, but she also is doing the work of making sure that actors are really supported, particularly actors of color, regarding hair texture and making sure that there are people who know how to do their hair, because that's always a challenge in theater, TV, and film. So Camille is doing amazing work. I really look up to Mia Neal, who is a bit of a mentor to me in my head. We both work on Broadway. She also works in TV and film, and to me, she's so amazing, and just an amazing person. But she's also doing the same kind of work. So I would say those two people are people that I really, really look up to as, as contemporaries, and people that I can say, that make me say, I want to keep going. I will say also there's another stylist. Her name is Jennifer Lord, and she's doing a similar kind of work. So yeah, I'd say Jennifer, Camille, and Mia are the people I think of as I talk right now.
Awesome. That's great. All right. And then I guess final seconds, if there's anyone listening to this that wants to get into your craft, let's say there's some young girls or boys that want to go into hairstyling. And why should they come out to this show and sort of get a glimpse of what it's all about?
Well, listen, I feel like when I got the job, when I was offered this job, I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, what? You are giving me as a wig designer the opportunity to play with hairstyles, that it is a show about hairstyling, and I feel like this would be a show that really puts hair and wigs at the forefront. Whereas most shows, what we actually see as designers and just in the theatrical world is set designers, maybe costume designers, directors, actors tend to be the jobs that we know about. We know that that's a job. But I know when I started out as an actor, when I was thinking about this, I didn't even know that wig design was quite a thing. And I talk to young people who don't know that either. So I would definitely want those who feel like, oh, I have a knack for styling, or I want to go to cosmetology school, to know that there is a space. There are also wig design schools. There's North Carolina School of the Arts is a school for hair and makeup design. I think Cincinnati has a school. But also, like, I'm also looking for really talented and professional people as well. So like, I'm always looking to, help to cultivate and bring young people into the space. So, people can also hit me up on Instagram, if they wanted to.
Absolutely. Awesome. Final seconds, pretend I'm not here and talk directly to our listeners. Maybe they hear this on the radio. Invite them out, just say, hey, everyone, come on out to the show, whatever you want to say. But yeah, just speak directly to them, invite them out.
Hey, everybody, I want you to come out to Jaja's African Hair Braiding. This is a Tony Award-winning show. I'm so grateful to have had the opportunity to work on this. This show gives voice to immigrants. It gives voice to those who we haven't seen celebrated, particularly women of color, around their hair. I want you to know that this show is for you, whether you are Black, white, red, green, yellow, or blue. Come out and have a good time, because it's going to be a really amazing experience. And I feel like where we are in this country right now, we actually really need a laugh, and we need a bit of unity. And I think you'll get there. You'll get that at Arena Stage. So come on out.
Couldn't have said it better. Hey, thank you so much. Again, everyone, it runs September 6th through October 13th. So head over to arenastage.org for your tickets now. Hey, thanks so much for doing this. And congrats on the Tony. I mean, that's only a couple months ago, so you can still ride on that high for a while.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So good talking to you.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.